Did you know that Al Haymon started in the music business? Did you know that Al Haymon is still in the music business partially? Did you know that Al Haymon's brother, Bobby Haymon, fought Sugar Ray Leonard? I'm T Street Controversy. This is T Street Controversy Live. A lot of people are still wondering, who is that man that Dana Garcia, Irisland Lara, Floyd Mayweather, Andre Berto, Robert Guerrero, Marcos McDonough, and the list goes on, Keith Thurman Jr. Who is that guy they keep saying, thank you, Al Haymon? First I want to say thank you, Al Haymon. Who is this guy? You barely see his face. He has about maybe a total of 6 photos on the internet. I have some very rare exclusive photos, but what I'm saying is this man has the most powerful stable of boxers in boxing. And I'm going to probably say in the industry of boxing throughout the generations of boxing. Because if you look at the powerhouse boxers he has, and you look at how his boxers are pay-per-view outside of Top Rank, they are the pay-per-view buys of this generation, you ask yourself, well, if this guy's so powerful, why doesn't he show his face? Why doesn't he do any press conferences? Why doesn't he come out and actually say what his vision is? Like, what is the Al Haymon plan for all these boxers? Because one thing you notice throughout 2013 and throughout 2014 is that Al Haymon has been signing fighters like 2 a month. Now, it's crazy because Al Haymon, how does the way I think is, I want to know how these deals go down. Like, I think, like, you know, like, I hear the rumors. You know, I hear that that like if you come in like in 25 kilometers of Al Haymon, you automatically sign. I hear that the only words he says are you're signed. I hear that once the Sam Watson and the brothers Watson show up to your door, or that if they show up at your house, you're signed. You know, so I'm hearing so many things, but we don't know. It's almost like he's like the Blair Witch. Like, what if that man that we think is Al Haymon is really not even Al Haymon? See, that's some 3:30 in the morning shit right there for you. Because it seems as though it seems as though the man goes above and beyond to not be known. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, how can you like maneuver all those cameras? How can you just ninja all? Man, like, literally, the man is like a ninja. Like how do you do this? You know, how can you avoid cameras everywhere? Like at the biggest pay-per-views, and you know, and he be at the events. The last time I saw him, and I'm talking about like the last time I saw him, I don't know what Leo Santa Cruz fight was. It was in late 2013. Keith Thurman was the next fight, but Leo Santa Cruz fought on the undercard. And Al Haymon was right there in the audience just watching. And then all of a sudden, once, you know, Leo Santa Cruz's fight was over, he got up out of his seat. He was gone. You know, and like before the crowd started coming, and I think like, well, what's the reason for this? Like, are you shy? It's okay. You know, me myself, I used to be an introvert, somewhat of an introvert. Are you shy? It's okay if you're shy. You know, but when it comes to you dicking around with our sport of boxing, just letting you know right now, I'm building an army. And I know you probably think, like, what is this guy talking about? But eventually, you know, I want everybody to start talking about it. Because, see, when it comes to this matchmaking, especially with that prank Adrian Broner played yesterday, right now, if you don't know, it's August the 26th, 2014. I'm T Street Controversy, T Street Controversy Live. I do all my videos live, unedited, and uncut. So I couldn't sleep. You know how you get that feeling? Like when you lay down, you be tired, and then you lay down, and then once you lay down, you don't be tired no more. So I said, man, F that. I'm getting up and doing a video. So a lot of the questions around boxing these days is about ducking. Why are we not getting these big fights? Because this person's ducking that person's ducking this person, cherry picking over here, you know, bobbing for apples. And you think, well, when you look at one situation in particular, the Floyd Mayweather versus Marcos McDonough fight. Floyd Mayweather said if the fans want to see it again, we'll do it again. The fans, you know, wanted to see it again. Or a large portion of fans wanted to see it again. When you look at when you look at the fact that Marcus McDonough was like, no, I'm going to retire. I'm going to go chill with my cows. And Marcus McDonough has a lot of cows. That's a lot of tending to cows. It's like 100 cows. Like, imagine 100 cows. So, you know, he's very wealthy off of just his cattle. So that's not nothing to be played with. So he said, well, listen, if I'm not fighting Mayweather, no, I'm not fighting Keith Thurman. Like, why? And I'm going to get to the Keith Thurman situation. You know, he said, no, I'm not fighting Keith Thurman. I want Mayweather, or I'm going to retire and go chill with my cows. So he gets the Mayweather rematch. But when you think both of those guys are managed by the same person, now let's look at something a little more deeper. The Lamont Peterson versus Danny Garcia thing. They both say, look, you get Lamont Peterson say, I hope so. You know, when he asked about will you fight Danny Garcia, and the way he said it was like, you know, like it ain't in my hands. Like, I wish I could play. I'm going to play it right now. Welcome to T Street Controversy, T Street Controversy Live. But I'm going to try to talk while I'm trying to get this right now. And then you got Danny Garcia saying, you know, well, if both sides can get it done, we're going to do it. And I'm like, you got the same manager. What are you talking about? You know, when you look at, to switch it up a little bit, when you look at Manny Pacquiao versus Chris Algieri, people say, you know, why he picked Chris Algieri? Because, you know, I'm going to just keep it very, very simple. If you really think about it, there's only Timothy Bradley, Brandon Rios, Juan Manuel Marquez, Mike Alvarado, Ruslan Provodnikov, and now Diego Chavez. You know, and maybe a Demetrius Andrade if Pacquiao wants to go back up to 154 again. So if you don't know about the top-ranked stable of boxers, and if you don't know about like the beef that's going on with Bob Arum and Al Haymon, there's something going on, and that's like where there's a wall. See, I can get all the information about the boxers and, you know, people who's running the company, but I can't. There's a wall like with what happened between Bob Arum and Al Haymon. Now, I know as much to say that the networks are somewhat heavily involved. For example, Steven Espinoza used to be a lawyer for Golden Boy Promotions. You know, so him and Richard Schaefer are somewhat friends. See, here's the thing. Now, from a business standpoint, you know, I admire guys like Steven Espinoza and Al Haymon. But a guy like Richard Schaefer, he just seemed like he just was a dick, you know, like he just seemed like a jerk, you know. It just seemed like he's a guy that just like you can't reason with, and he talked down to you. Like, that's not, you know, somebody like him I'm not really impressed with. But however, you know, the way he did business, the numbers he produced, and everything revolves around numbers. Richard Schaefer was successful. You know, and Richard Schaefer made Golden Boy Promotions what it was, despite whatever you think about him and Oscar De La Hoya. Yeah, there was some dirty, grimy shit or whatever, but then we really don't know both sides. We know the one side of, as far as there was some dirty shit going on when we look at the fact that who is really signed with Golden Boy Promotions? I don't know. Who's really, you hear all the time about, for example, most recently, you heard that, Diego Chavez signed with Top Rank. When was the last time you heard of somebody signing with Golden Boy Promotions? You hear, oh, this person just signed with Al Haymon. So Al Haymon has an army of boxers that are not tied to Golden Boy Promotions. But Golden Boy Promotions has the Showtime deal. So what does that mean? That means that if those guys are not promoted legally, like have a promotional contract with Golden Boy Promotions, those guys are really not affected by the Cold War. You get what I'm saying? Or what was the Cold War? So that means those guys can fight over on HBO. It's not the promoters holding them back. Now, as far as what I know, a guy, Amir Khan, Saul Canelo Alvarez, Danny Garcia, Robert Guerrero, you know, and everything, and it's cloudy with those. The only real ones I know for sure have the Showtime deal is Canelo with that pay-per-view deal, and Saul Canelo, and Amir Khan. No, but Robert Guerrero and Danny Garcia, they Haymon fighters, but from what I'm understanding, they're Golden Boy fighters too. So, but outside of that, all the other guys, you know, like the Charlo brothers, Ruslan Lara, you know, Floyd Mayweather is Showtime, even though he's not Golden Boy Promotions, he's Showtime. You ask yourself, well, why is Pacquiao fighting on Chris Algieri? Because there's nothing there. In order, like I said at the beginning, in order for you to understand, you have to understand like how promoting works. You have to understand that if those two sides, like that manager, where all those boxers can, he's put Bob Arum into a situation where Bob Arum has had to recycle these fights, and Bob Arum has had no choice but to put his fighters in the toughest fights. Juan Marquez, for example. Juan Marquez would love to fight all of those guys, but promotional and network issues. He's glad that Kell Brook, and I'm glad. That's why I said that I'm glad that someone who's not affected by the American boxing politics has won the belt with the IBF and Kell Brook, because he can fight the Golden Boy guys. He can fight Juan Marquez, and Juan Marquez wants that fight bad. Kell Brook is going to be fighting again this winter. Expected to be a tough fight, but not a A-class fight because they're waiting for Amir Khan. So I don't know. Like, you can't distribute the blame. You can't say it's Bob Arum's fault. You can't say it's Al Haymon's fault. You have to just say there needs to be somebody, a mediator, that needs to come together. And remember, the networks, you know, they're rivaling networks, so they both want the mega fights. For example, HBO and Showtime both want to broadcast Mayweather versus Pacquiao right now. 2014, they both of those networks still want Manny Pacquiao versus Floyd Mayweather. So with those networks involved, they want to make sure they get their chunk, and that's a whole different negotiation battle right there. But when it comes to what Bernard Hopkins most recently did, and remember, he's Golden Boy Promotions. Well, he's a shareholder in Golden Boy Promotions, but it looks like he doesn't have a Golden Boy contract or a Golden Boy, or the Showtime deal. And also, it's just a crazy situation. But him going over there to fight Kovalev makes you think like, well, okay, we know Bernard Hopkins is a very powerful man in the sport of boxing. We know that. You know, he's like quietly one of the most powerful men in boxing, and will be in the future. You're going to see it in people like, it's people like that, you know, you're going to see. But the fact that he did that makes you think like, well, what's so hard for Floyd? You know, and people say, you know, Pacquiao gave him many chances. I mean, he gave Pacquiao many chances and the drug test and everything. Yeah, but what about 2012, 2013, and 2014? You know, in 2015. That shit involved those needles and everything. I've been admitted like, okay, I thought Pacquiao did something, okay. You know, but still, if we look at today, like, still, why isn't the fight not happening? Why hasn't Floyd come out and say, listen, I'm the most powerful boxer in the sport of boxing, and I want to make this happen. I'm going to end all this. I want to see Keith Thurman versus Timothy Bradley. I want to see Marcos McDonough versus Brandon Bam Bam Rios. You know, I want to see Ruslan Provodnikov versus Danny Garcia or Adrian Broner, or, you know, or Lucas Matisse. You get what I'm saying? So why isn't the top level guys coming out and saying like, yo, like, let's get this shit popping? Robert Guerrero was starting to be a little outspoken. Then he got $1 million to fight Yoshihiro Kimaga. You know, I'm not taking anything away from that, but I'm saying, you know, so there's certain things like that you got to look at. But as far as boxing fans are concerned, we're getting pissed off. I'm getting pissed off. You know, and if this continues to happen in 2015, where we're getting like BS fights, you know, and these, you know, like these fat cards of these guys not fighting each other, then, you know, I'm not going to no longer believe in the Al Haymon plan. But right now, I think, you know, like he's doing something. You know, like it's got to be some type of plan, right? This guy's just not signing up all these boxes just for nothing, right? Or at least that's what we want to believe. But this is T Street Controversy. T Street Controversy Live. I cover every single major fight live. Real Combat Media. All your boxing articles are right below. I put the links right below for a reason. People, you know, I type all that shit down there. I put all those links and everything right down there. So I'll put them there for you to click them for a reason. So when you go to my like page, what I post on my like page is you're going to see me posting like the fights. Now, as far as right now, I'm going to be working basically full time within the next couple of days. You know, right? Like once I start covering All Access, it's full time. So people that's been, I'm talking about the people that's asking about, you know, where's the videos been and all that. Like I'm doing like 50 videos a week. I'm tired as hell, but I'm actually going to try to go lay down now. T Street Controversy Live.